In the heart of Panay Island, hidden within the mountains of Lambunaw, Iloilo, lies a sanctuary, enchanted, endangered, and essential. This is Mariet Wildlife Conservation Park, the first of its kind in the region, a refuge where nature finds home and where the dangerously enchanted are protected. Mariet is a Visayan term, mystical and feared, but here it takes a new meaning, a place where some of the most endangered species of the Visayas find sanctuary. Among the trees and slopes live the Visayan spotted deer, warty pigs, leopard cats, monkeys, and hornbills, rescued from poaching, forest fires, and illegal trading. Mariet began with a choice. Over 25 years ago, Lucia Lastimosa, then part of Websocaf, saw 3 deer being sold to be slaughtered. Instead, she brought them to safety and began a mission. Too many never made it, victims of snares, bullets, and cages. But for 3 deers, a different fate began Mariet's mission. Training with the IUCN in 1992, Lastimosa built the foundation of the first wildlife breeding and conservation center in Panay Island. Ano yung story nung kang 3 deer nga nag-umpisa ang Mariet?
Well, you see, the Mariet Conservation Center started with what? With my participation with the survey in 1985, conducted by Dr. Roger Cox, who was what do you call this? A PhD student at Oxford University in England, is an anthropologist, and he has some budget for the survey of countries with endemic species, because the Philippines is one of the countries with what? With high biological diversity. Because according to Larry Henny, 1 hectare of forest in the Philippines is equivalent to one continent in Europe or even in America in terms of the highly diversified biological resources, especially wildlife.
How did your training with the IUCN in 1993 shape your approach in conserving the wild, and how did it help combat the challenges that Mariette Wildlife Conservation Park faces back then?
Well, you see, I was also very, very grateful because of our connections with the supporters of Mariette Wildlife Conservation Center. So we have the IUCN, the foremost is we have the Melun Zoo in France. We have the Chester Zoo. The Chester Zoo is really they really placed a lot of support at Mariette Conservation Center. We have the London Zoo for the cloud rats, and then we have the Bristol Zoo before, Bristol in southern England. We have the San Diego Zoo in San Diego, California. We also have the Manhattan Zoo, and then the organizations of zookeepers. They also give their support. And then we have before the Malaga Zoo. We have the Malaga Zoo in Spain, and then because the training is from handling of animals, genetics, we have lectures and all that. But my training in Chester Zoo, for example, on the overall management, how the zoo personnel manage the animals there, and also in Whipsnade, and also in Malaga and Melus. The training that the principles that I've learned there, because you have to learn the principles there. The principles that I learned there is what? It's an eye-opener as to how the cages were built at CAF. Because the first thing that we have to really recognize is the minimum biological requirements of the animals.
And lastly, ma'am, how can the people locally and globally, especially the students of CAF, support the initiative of the Mariette Wildlife Conservation Park?
Well, see, the initiative of the Wildlife Conservation Center, say for example, is that it is word by mouth when they said, okay, you campaign before. Oh my goodness! Before you campaign, for example, for for protection of the habitat. Protection of the habitats, for example, protection of the conservation of the Nuyan and the conservation of and then say something about the biological heritage, their importance to the ecology of the forest, and the forest to the climate that is now undergoing volatile climate changes. So if they do that, be the ambassadors for protection of habitat, protection of the species within the habitat, and that protection and propagation and all that, and that is all. But it's quite difficult to do that. But if there is what we call a constant reminding of people.
The physical heart of Mariette lies in its facilities. Purpose: built to support life. The park stretches over 1,000 hectares of forest and mountain terrain owned by West Visayas State University, CAF.
What motivated the LGU to step in and support Mariette after international funding?
Actually, before even nga nag-fund, may funding, may international funding, the LGU helps in the promotion of Mariit Conservation Park. And insa nga nag-step in or insa nga nag-join or nag-venture ang LGU to support Mariit Conservation Park because number one, Mariit is within the municipality. And nakita natin ang potential for tourism promotions, and at the same time, imagine ang Mariit Conservation Park is the first in Western Visayas. It's the first captive breeding facility of endangered species in Western Visayas. That's why nga we need to help Mariit Conservation Park.
How does Mariit fit in your business goals for environmental protection or tourism in London?
Siyempre, Mariit Conservation Park houses sang mga endangered species, and we are the captive breeding kang mga endangered species. In fact, nakilala pagidgali si Mariit Conservation Park because nag-tree planting. Isa ka mga project ni Alexi May Kaimong Subrok. Ano ganun si Alexi? Miss Eco-Tourism International. So, siya, isa naman ka project na is nag-lead siya sa tree planting activity sa silid ng Mariit Conservation Park. And we hope na ma-save natin ang mga endangered species plus ang mga flora and fauna.
Yearly operation expense. Gasto, pinakadako nga, siyempre nga challenge sa amo ng pagkaon sa kasapatan. Kaya ang subong ang lahat ng pagkaon sa kasapatan naton, number 1 LGU, number 2 ang DNR. Kaya mo nga pinakadako nga expense sila ng duwag shoulder. So kung may halt sa ilang operation at gakaon ng kasapatan mo, hindi naman pwede habalon nga, oy subong hindi ka na magkaon. Tapos ang magkatabo pa na, kung may fluctuation man kami sa quality sa among pagkaon, may negative effect man sa mga kasapatan. Nga bigla na lang magkasakit sila. Nga last time kumpleto, subong kay wala doon sa pagkaon, i-stop or pagamayon namon, mas stress sila, hindi mo naman sa additional nga problem. Next, ang among operation expense, ang may tawo lang subong sa center nga alaga sila. Dua. So sa kadamon-damon nga kasapatan dyan, especially sa aton ng mga dirang mga kakantiri pa naman sila, mangumpay, mga So kulang sa tao. Amo na nga di man kami makaanugit sa iban nga isang babi, mabasa nga mag-grow na lang kami sa sarili namon nga pakaon. Dua lang nga na sila nabilin. Tapos ako man, hindi man naman yung primary function ko. So, ano to?
Dagaw kamo diri sa Mariit Conservation located at Hayubo, Lambunaw, Iloilo.
Groups funded Mariit, but when support ended in 2014, the park faced collapse. That's when the LGU of Lambunaw stepped in. Limited budgets mean basic upkeep. Fences rust, structures wears, and only the most essential repairs get made. Mariit is not perfect, but it is powerful. With limited resources, it does what many cannot: protect the endangered and preserve the wild. Here, concrete walls are replaced with forests and technology gives way to instinct. The facilities, though simple, carry the weight of a vision that started with saving 3 deer and today shelters the last of their kind.